If you have started a GLP-1 or you're thinking of starting, I have 9 mistakes to avoid as a beginner that I made so you don't have to. Also, stick around for number 10 because it's a bonus. So let's go. Welcome back. My name is Lynn. I'm 56 years old. I'm a wife and mother of 2 high schoolers. One is graduating high school next month and one is turning 16 this week. So far, I have lost 70 pounds on a GLP-1 Zepbound 2.5 milligram injector pen since August 2025. I also started my channel 2 weeks into my journey, and I'm documenting it here since then. So please subscribe and like this video and follow along for the rest of my journey. Let's go. Here are the 9 mistakes. Number 1, not drinking enough water. I had this before GLP-1. I was a Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke drinker, on occasion hot chocolate, maybe a juice here and there. I don't drink alcohol at all. My husband and I don't drink alcohol, so don't have to worry about that. But it was all pop, pop, pop all the time. So as soon as I started in August with my shot, I didn't even want pop anymore. It was like I quit cold turkey. So I was water, water, water all the time. And I don't mind the taste of regular water. I don't have to flavor it or anything. So I drink at least 64 ounces of water per day. That's 8 cups throughout the entire day. And that could include my protein shake. I have a protein shake sometimes at night as a dessert and also to get in some protein that I didn't get during the day. I drink Core Power chocolate, 26 grams of protein drink. So I realized that in the beginning, when you're starting your GLP-1, when you take the medicine, it deters your hunger, it suppresses your hunger, and you're not that hungry, so you're not that thirsty either. Well, you still need to drink water. I noticed the hard way because I was starting to get nauseous and, a lot of dry mouth the first couple days, and I realized I was dehydrated. So to save yourself from being dehydrated and to curb some of the side effects, drink your water, please. Also, I had water at my meals, but also just a little sip of my diet drinks and my Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke at lunch and dinner because I have to take pills and my vitamins at lunch, and I can't swallow my pills with water. They just don't go down. So I need a regular drink to get my pills down. So I still have my little bit of Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke at lunch or dinner. Number 2 is not prioritizing protein. Now I knew from all the research right away when I started that I needed to eat protein. And I like protein. I love my meats. I love steak. I love hamburgers, chicken, all types of chicken, even fried chicken. I like lamb chops, ham, turkey, and eggs. So I was all set with the protein. When I started, though, my doctor told me not to eat any fatty or fried foods. So I did avoid the fried chicken, the fried tenders, and hamburgers for the first 3 weeks. I stuck with chicken and steaks mainly. And I did have hamburger. I tried it, but only on days 5, 6, and 7 because it's less medicine life. It's only half medicine life after the 4th day. But in the beginning, when your appetite is less, you eat less. And so it's hard to get the protein in, but you still need to try and eat if you can. If you can't eat a big steak or a piece of meat, then try eating cottage cheese or eggs, something to get some protein in. Also, you can eat smaller meals. You don't have to have a big, huge meal like breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can have a small snack in the morning, a small snack around lunch, a small snack in the afternoon, and try and get in little bits of protein all day long. It really helps fill you up, keep you full, and sustain and keep your muscles. Also, I do protein first now, even after all these months, and then I will still have some rice or potatoes or vegetables and stuff like that after I focus on the meat. Number 3, skipping strength training. I know this is a tough one, and a lot of people say focus on the diet or the food first, which is good because you're, trying to ward off side effects and stuff. But if you can do any little bits of strength training, it'll help keep your muscle, and you can build muscle to keep you through and take you through this journey. Walking makes you lose inches, but if you walk on an incline, that helps build muscle. And that's what I do at home with my treadmill. But if you have hills by you, or if you're a walking path near you and do hills, that helps build strength also and helps your muscles. Number 4, expecting instant results. Now, I was weary at the very beginning. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. I, put all my hope into it, but I didn't get my hopes up too high because I was like, nothing else worked. All the other diets didn't work, so maybe this won't work either. But I gave it a try, and I lost during the first week, the second week, I think it was 17 pounds during the first 2 weeks, and I was on my way. But it all depends on your body, your hormones, your genes, and if you do the extra stuff too. A lot of people think, oh, it's just the medicine. You just take a shot and then you go about your day. You still have your, alcohol drinks. You still eat the brownies. You still, eat all the fried chicken and all that stuff. And if you want to help the medicine along, you might still be able to lose some weight if you're eating like that still. But to help it along, you need to adjust your eating and adjust your lifestyle to more whole foods, less processed, less fried, less sugar, just something. But you could still eat and stay, in your own calorie deficit, but not be deprived and restrictive, something that you can stay and sustain for the rest of your life, because this is a lifelong journey. And the medicine is working long term, and it builds up in your body. So the first week you might not even lose weight, and even into the second week. It all depends on your, body. And everybody's body is different. So don't be discouraged if you only lose a half a pound, or if you lose 5 pounds the first week and nothing the second week. A lot of times the first week is just water weight. So, a lot of people will lose a bunch of weight the first week or 2, and then it'll start slowing down. Don't worry, the medicine is still working. Some weeks you'll lose more, some weeks you'll lose less, sometimes you'll hit 0, but the medicine is still working. Number 5, comparing your journey to others' journeys. This was hard not to do because you're watching on YouTube, you're watching your, friends who have channels and stuff, and, they lost 10 pounds, they lost 5 pounds, they lost this many, and you're sitting there losing like 1 pound a week, and it's hard, but you have to try not to compare because you're on your own journey. You have your own body, your own hormones, your own situation. You might have underlying conditions like hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's or PCOS or high blood pressure and all these other different things that might make your weight loss less per week and, slower. And also diabetes too. It's been shown that if you have diabetes, it's a slower weight loss than those who don't. Also, besides your own body, a calorie deficit, drinking more water, going to the bathroom both ways, undereating, constipation, all of that affects your weight. That could be the reason why you're not losing weight, or you didn't lose as much weight as you did the previous week. Okay, number 6. Eating too little. Yes, you want to be in a calorie deficit, but not too much. I've heard some people doing like 1,000 calories, 1,100, even under 1,000. And sometimes at the beginning of your journey, while you're getting used to the medicine, it's hard to eat because your appetite is so suppressed. but you still have to try and get in as many calories as you can. And if you can't eat that many on the first and second day, then you can still try and make up for it on like days 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you don't get enough calories, your body will go into starvation mode and it will try and hang on to all of the fat. So that's why you want to try and get your calories in. Also, if you don't have enough calories, you'll have less energy, less to make it through the day and less to exercise. And if you don't have enough calories, you could get headaches, lightheadedness, dehydration. All of this, you have to eat. You have to drink and stay hydrated and eat your calories. At a few points, I was getting less calories due to not being as hungry or not eating the right types of food or enough food in my meals. And I ended up with only 1,000 or 1,100 calories. On those weeks, that's when I felt my weight was stalled, when I only lost a half a pound or even no weight at all. So I've realized in the last month, and I said it in a couple of my update videos, that I had increased my calories. Now I'm doing between 1,300 and 1,400, and I'm actually losing more weight. So I think that as the body takes in more, it doesn't feel like it's starving, and it'll push it out in energy and, get rid of the fat for you. Keep eating your calories. Don't eat too little. Number 7, ignoring electrolytes. Now, some people, they don't drink them, they don't need them. I was one of those people, and I just drink water, and I'm okay with that. Now, eventually, at some point when I was feeling ill or felt like a cold coming on when we were on vacation, I got emergency. I'll throw a picture up here. And that helped me. And I realized that had electrolytes in it. So whenever I feel like a cold coming on or sore throat or sinus, issues, stuffiness, I'll have that. And it's a bunch of vitamins, and I mainly do it for the electrolytes, but it gives me like this burst where I feel like I have more energy and I can exercise longer and harder. If you like electrolytes, I know there's a bunch of them out there, and there's different powders and, liquid drinks, and, just you could taste test and, find what you like and have some. Some are very salty, and some, it's mainly for the salt that helps your electrolytes. So I can't, speak on it fully since I don't use them all the time. I just use my emergency, and that's only once in a while. You can drink a lot of water, but if your electrolytes are off, you still feel kind of blah and awful. And sometimes you need electrolytes to get you back to feeling great, especially if you're sweating a lot, like in the summer, or exercising a lot. Number 8, not planning your meals. Now, I know a lot of the content creators for GLP-1s plan their meals, they prep their meals, and a lot of them do meal prep videos and high protein videos and, a bunch of different videos on food. One that I watch is Losing It Grace, and I'll put her up here. She is awesome at doing food videos, and, I don't cook at home. If you watch any of my videos and my updates and stuff, and I eat out all the time, so I have restaurant food. Once in a while I'll cook at home or, grab something and eat it at home, but most of the time we're restaurant people, and that's just what works for us. So for me, I plan ahead going to the restaurant. I know which restaurant I'm going to, and we basically go to the same ones usually every, week. So I know what Wednesday is Olive Garden. Thursday is Buffalo Wild Wings. Fridays we usually go to Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse. So I know what I get at those places. Sometimes it's, 1, 2, 3 items, different things I rotate or whatever. but I can plan it out and put it in my app and see, what kind of calories and protein it has. And that's how I plan my day. So you could do it that way. And for prepping and stuff, I know a lot of people do it maybe on the weekends, and you make enough lunches for the whole week, or you plan out your meals so you can shop and, go to the store and get your food delivered. A lot of, GLP-1 users do that. So it's all what you like. And if you're a cook, if you're, a shopper, if you go to the restaurants, it's all, however you want, but it's some kind of planning so you know what you're going to eat and how much calories, protein, fat, and even fiber that you might be getting. Number 9, we touched on this a little bit in the beginning, but only relying on the medication. Now, a lot of people think they just have to take the shot and then you're done. And then you go about your business and everything, and you're going to be great, and you're going to be going and lose, 5 pounds, whatever. But a lot of the time that doesn't happen. You still have to watch what you eat and have protein first, drink your water, stay hydrated, exercise, even if it's a little walking a couple times a week. Try to get into weightlifting so you can build some muscle and keep your muscle. And this is such a big one because you can take the medicine and the medicine helps you lose weight, but the changes that you make around it with your food and exercise, water, and getting all the stuff that you need and changing your lifestyle, that's what sustains the weight loss. All right, are you ready for the bonus one? Okay, here we go. Number 10, the bonus one. The bonus mistake that you should avoid if you're a beginner. Letting the scale control your mood. I didn't know that this would affect me until it did. I had always weighed myself. When I was way up in pounds, my heaviest was like 270. And I started my journey at 252.4 pounds. And ever since my day one, I've been weighing myself, and I keep track in multiple different places, 2 different apps and on paper. And it's just, what I do. And I like to see the changes. Now, as I went on, like after the first few weeks and the first few months, it became data for me. I wasn't being controlled. At the beginning, it was like, yay, I lost some weight, but it was water weight the first week, even the first 2 weeks. I was like, yay, I lost so much weight, yay, on the scale. But that didn't last. It went to 1 pound a week, 2 pound a week. It's going up and down, no pounds. But I didn't let the scale affect me emotionally anymore after the first maybe 1 or 2 months. Some of the GLP-1 users had mentioned in their videos that they do the same thing, and it's data. And I was like, that's true. Because if I have something that's heavier in salt, I might retain more water. And I can look back in my records, because I keep track of what I eat too, in my apps. And I could see, I gained a pound last night or, overnight because I had something with a lot of salt yesterday. And you could see, if you keep records, that the scale is just another data point. And some people get frustrated or they get PTSD and they can't handle doing it every day, so they weigh weekly. And that's fine. You could do whatever you want. I do it daily, and I am just good with that. And I also do 2 different scales, but you don't have to do that either. But I do plain old scale, which I had used forever, and so that's what I started on. And then I got a smart scale, and I have the Hume Body Pod, which looks like this. And I've been using that for almost a month now, and that gives you extra information. So if you're a data nerd like me, you can get the body mass, the lean mass, the visceral fat, the bone density, all these different measurements. And it's not that the fact that, it looks bad now, or it says high and it should be low, or it's, red and it should be green. It shows all this on the Human Body Pod app. But the point is that I like seeing it get better. It shows the little line, and when you lose, it goes down. And, it's good to see high, from high, and then it goes down to low, or, bad and good, or red to green. And I feel so accomplished, and like I'm doing the work and I'm seeing the results, and it's just so great seeing all that. And it's great information. And so I don't have a personal, link with them or anything, but I know you can get discounts from other content creators. But I just wanted to let you know what I use. And it's not the scale that shows the progress all the time. It's your habits, your energy, your endurance, and your change in lifestyle and the way you feel. So those were the 10 mistakes that you could make as a beginner on a GLP-1. And I hope that this helps you and you can avoid some of those. You're not alone. Most of us learn as we go from other, GLP-1 users, or from reading about it, Googling it, ChatGPTing it. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll try and help answer, and share your journey if you want to. Put in the comments below if you had any side effects or different, mistakes that you made if you've been on the journey for a while that might help others too. So you can help too. And GLP-1 is a tool. It's not a magic bullet or a magic pill. It's a tool that helps you lose weight. Your consistency, even when it's not perfect, is what changes everything. I never realized how much consistency works until I did it and noticed that it works with my own eyes. I exercise every day. I walk every day. I lift weights 2 to 3 days per week. I watch what I eat. I get my water in. I've seen the results, and I've lost weight. I've lost over 70 pounds. If this helped you, please like and subscribe below, and hit the bell to follow along, and you'll get notified whenever I post a video. If you are thinking about starting a GLP-1 or just started, I have a beginner's playlist that you can go check out below. And you can also follow along with my journey if you don't know me, and go back to the beginning. I have a playlist of my weekly updates, so you can pick and choose which ones you want, depending on the title or the thumbnail, and see, oh, that looks interesting, or that, or check out, the monthly ones, or the 6-month one, and when I hit Wonderland, or, 50 pounds down, all that stuff. So, but I can't believe this journey. I can't believe this medicine. And I'm so happy and thrilled that I took the jump onto taking the shot. And I was a little scared at the beginning, but I just did it because I knew this might be the last chance and last hope I have for losing my weight. And I still have 30 to 40 pounds more to go, so I'm still going to be going on. So come follow me, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.